Now return to the King's Dilemma. Alright. An honorable alliance. Let's go check this one out. The wedding between Lara and Edgern has been repeatedly delayed due to riots in Duin, caused by zealots trying to force the Duke to break his brother's engagement to the godless princess, as they say. The honor-driven Enkali, though, have been quite upfront. Canceling the marriage would have severe consequences. Do we repress the protests about the interracial marriage? Yeah? Yeah, we do not want to go to war with these people. Unless it is the only way to conquer a kingdom. We wouldn't win. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't win. I don't have the actual steam... Well, I mean, I do. The steam engines are being currently used in the field, and we have allowed the military to use them. But I think that's all we got. Them and a rabid band of somebody. And it's very obvious that saying no perpetuates the storyline for that. I hate not knowing, though. Like, I thought we would have a chance. I thought that we were being given some opportunities to either go with these guys or the guys that sold us the bad grain, or maybe the Natali down there in Lorraine. This seems to be the only kingdom that I know we can go to war with. So I may be screwing myself on my primary objective by saying no, but I don't want to try and do this just yet. Or at all, if I can help it. Then again, this also sends the thing down and gets me a black crown. Oh, this is a bad idea. This is a very bad idea. Oh god, this is a really bad idea. On the other hand, breaking that also prevents the Corden family from completing their goal of uniting with the kingdom. This is a bad idea. This is so bad. Because what if it's not? What if it's not the only kingdom? Because then we'd have very powerful allies. Who could possibly even help during the uprising? Like saying yes, I'm pretty sure is going to send both of these up and I will have no crowns. And it's going to end the storyline right there, because there's no continuation, apparently. Oh my god. This is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea, you guys. We should not be doing this. But what if? I think in my heart of hearts, I know that this is the correct choice to complete my goals. Because why would they make it easy, right? You're not going to complete a major goal without a struggle, without fighting for it, literally. But holy shit, I think this is going to fuck a lot of stuff up. I think this is going to be really bad. Because there's a few things I've missed out on. Like, we have the maps as an advantage. We have the Rabid unit. We have the steam engines. I don't specifically have Red Iron exclusive to the military. I chose instead to give that to the merchants. That would be one up for me. These guys are all Red Iron bastards, and they... Holy fuck. They are relentless. This is how I lost the last time. Well, I gave up. I didn't actually go to completion. But this is a bad deal. But I also didn't have those 3 things last time either. Oh my god, why? I can't probably select out of this either, can I? I think for a good, easy time, this is definitely the choice. I think to complete my goals, for a chance at conquering a kingdom, this is the only way we do it. If we did this, that would be a peaceful alliance of the kingdoms, and that would help the Cordon to complete their goal, who are my rival. Okay. Well, this is the turning point that might just completely break the whole Let's Play here. This is the bad decision that is going to screw everything up for us, but at the same time is probably the only way that I can complete the goals, which I honestly think is the way that you win this game, not by having the best story outcome. So here we go. No, we don't repress the protests. Our lack of response to the rioting zealots infuriates the Ankali. Lara, forced to choose between her love for Edgern and the convictions of her people, chooses the former and converts to the cult of the mother to marry Edgern, thinking it a reasonable compromise. However, her father, the warrior king of the Ankali, is not of the same mind. Mad with wrath, he declares war. Betrayed both by us and their princess, the Ankali will not forgive our lack of respect for their culture. A promising alliance was thwarted in its infancy. Oh yeah, the battle with Enkal engulfs the Mark of Torque. Our more abundant resources and superior numbers barely allow us to keep the unmatched battle prowess and the red iron weapons of our enemy at bay, narrowly preventing them from extending their range of action into our other duchies. In the end, neither faction proves capable of defeating the other, but at the same time, neither is willing to give up the fight. We find ourselves in a perpetual state of war, a never-ending conflict that puts a strain on the resources of the most influential families of our kingdom, forced to constantly support the war effort. Well, that's good. It's a better outcome. They didn't conquer Torque this time. So maybe my researches did help. Now more than ever, though, we need those bombs. We are getting 2 black crowns. That'll give me 3. That will help me with the thing. And we can have the bombs. Which means I have got to end this reign with 2 black crowns, at least. And Lara has apparently joined us. Do we continue down that one, or should let's mark up? Virtue of Destruction. I really want to try and do something that is not going to upset the boat right now. Oh, God. God damn, that was risky. If I had done that first, this would have been really bad. Okay, let's go spend some coins. All 3 of these things are in the north, so if we can send one of them south, that would give us a really good buffer. Ruthless Containment. When does this end? Maybe it doesn't end, because I know where the divination skills of the Ashers... Let's do this one. I know where the storyline continues. Rumors regarding the divination skills of the Ashers are spreading among the population. I thought we had maybe lost out on this storyline when I did not vindicate them and supported the Defenders. Which I would not have done if I didn't know that they, or if I had known that they weren't the ones that formed the vigilante group. We would have been a little less ruthless here and making them miserable. Many are frightened by their superhuman power and are reassured that they are imprisoned, but the dungeons are overcrowded and we can't keep arresting them. To solve the issue, the guild mistress suggests we exploit the powers of imprisoned Ashers by enslaving and selling them, but many in the court abhor the idea. See, they would be free to do this. This is the other side of the coin. If we didn't do the imprisonment thing, they would be free, and would probably help us. Do we enslave the Ashers for their divination skills? Yeah, we kind of have to. Unless we say nay, and then that goes down, and that apparently continues this. And let them run free. It would give me another black crown. But letting people who are now pissed off because we've been using them, I mean, we're no strangers to enslavement. We allowed that like the first decision I ever made. This might be a way of reconciling with them, though. Although... a bunch of pissed off people who can see the future? Ah, for shits and giggles, let's go see what this does. We're already in the shit with the Northern Ankali, right? This is the better choice at this point. As terrible as it is, I mean, we're already down that path. A long way down that path. Letting them run free, I think, is not going to let us reconcile. I think this is going to bite me in the ass. The council concludes that releasing criminals with divinating powers doesn't seem like a smart idea. The city guards are instructed to be more cautious when choosing whom to arrest, Asher or not, but for the rest, the situation remains unchanged. What? Many innocent Ashers remain imprisoned in the overcrowded dungeons, and those who live free are feared and discriminated against by the rest of the population. Okay. That didn't quite seem to be the same thing that I was thinking. Overcrowded dungeons. With most of the Ashers imprisoned, our dungeons are constantly overcrowded. Sudden epidemics routinely plague the prisons, killing many guards and prisoners alike. Does that feel like a little disconnect on what was supposed to have happened there? Like, I thought we were going to empty some of the prison... fuck, I saw this coming. I must have the ash plague. With the true unnatural properties of ash bread now publicly known, people are even more scared and distrustful of the Ashers. The social stigma of the Grey Mark persists, but many Ashers have simply accepted their fate and try to stay out of trouble and get on with their lives. Others refuse to passively resign and occasionally react to the violence against them, or even anticipate it with violence of their own, often assaulting the most influential figures of the kingdom. Whenever one of them is caught committing crimes, they're imprisoned, but as their ability with their divination skills increases, delivering these criminals to justice becomes more and more difficult. With the virtue of hindsight... Oh god, this is going to be really terrible when the uprising happens. With the virtue of hindsight, I would not have been as bad against the Ashers. I wasn't the first time, and it turned out well. A free people to join in divination, and then you could actually help them. Like, they come into conflict with the church because, you know, always the cult hates everything, but, like, a kingdom of diviners? Like, holy crap. Great. This is definitely the dark side of this. And you can see, because we are getting so many dark side choices here. Oh, and it didn't give me enough. Okay, let's go do something fun. Let's choose this one, though. After spending months studying the uncanny designs of the sunken Salan ships, our scholars make a sensational discovery. Their unusual triangular sails allowed these ancient vessels to sail against the wind. Do we keep the Salan ship design a military secret? Yeah, I guess. The schematics of the sails are classified as a secret of the state. Even if many try to emulate their design, the support structure of the sails is not easy to copy, giving our Navy an unprecedented advantage. However, we're denying the same advantage to the rest of our people. Thanks to the new triangular sails we copied from the wrecks of Salan ships, the maneuverability of our military ships is now unmatched. Okay, so we have secret trade routes with secret superfast ships. We've got steam engines, a rabid unit. We don't have marching legions of undead, unfortunately, but we do have a lot more now medical knowledge to perhaps save some people. What's this new thing here? Create an intelligence network. Intel on foreign kingdoms? That seems important. Well, shit. I think we need the bombs first, but... God, now we gotta come up with even more black points. So we gotta get all of those below. The Academy of the Spirit. What else do we have here? This could also send them... That's the Honorable Alliance. Alright. The Academy of the Spirit. The Order of Spiritual Enlightenment is asking that the firstborn of every noble family in Ankist be forced to spend 3 years at its headquarters in Libra to be taught the most profound aspects of spiritual knowledge. This will make the future dukes and marquises wiser, but it will also come at a great cost. Do we proclaim the forced spiritual conscription in an edict? Yes to send that down, or no to send that down. Either or, really. This, however, seems like it would be good for the kingdom, as this appears to... Oh boy. Oh, we're about to have another abdication here. We may as well use those points then, eh? Because this will probably continue a storyline where now we have very spiritual leaders for the war. I mean, God, we have to do that, right? That's what we're aiming for. By royal decree, all noble firstborn will be educated at the Order of Spiritual Enlightenment in Libra. Wise and spiritual leaders will certainly be an advantage for the kingdom and future generations. Spiritual nobility. The nobles educated at the Order of Spiritual Enlightenment tend to continue their intellectual research even during their adult life. Good, I would hope so. Okay. Well, we got some points. King was dethroned. Probably because they didn't care for being forced to give up their firstborns. To the Scholar Progenit. Well, that's one thing we can afford. Moderate or extremist. It's going to have to be moderate. Yeah, that was a short reign, apparently, because we don't have many choices now. It's going to have to be moderate. That's the only way we'll get black crowns. I mean, if we did this one, it would go... I don't know, though, like, is it just... Like, if we complete all 4, do we get the 2 black crowns? Is that how that works out? Well, I can't. I have to have this stuff now. So, to the Onyx Bombs. And then, I would say Intelligent Network. And then we'd probably need to start looking at these endgame things, like a Vulture Legion. My thing is conquering a kingdom, so all of my preparation choices have to be geared towards war. Firefighter Squad. Which probably helps extinguish fires during the uprising. Okay, well, the bombs. It's going to take another rain. But here we go. I got some coins, I got some... Ooh. I haven't been paying attention to this. We've been almost losing our alliance with these guys. And we've been pissing off these guys. I'm doing some bad things, apparently. Maybe I should get another ally here. That's a lot of my coins gone, but I think we're about to meet some friends. That'll give me another one of those. Alright. So everything's got to stay in the middle here. Let's go for deep treasures. Let's continue this thing. Retrieving the sunken treasures is difficult and dangerous. One of our ships is already lost in an accident and many sailors drowned. With summer ending soon and the storm season coming, the sailors are afraid to remain in the open ocean any longer. Do we abandon the retrieval of sunken ships in the ocean? I mean, I would say yes. That's probably a good choice there. The order to leave reaches our fleet just as a huge hurricane starts looming on the horizon. Now, these guys are at 4 stars and they said nay. How long until we get these guys upset with me to go to war? While pulling up anchor, the sailors on our flagship discover a strange book floating near the hull, curiously impervious to water. One final treasure, but many were left behind. Book of Choices. The book has an image of a large branched tree on the cover. It is unnaturally sturdy, but otherwise quite mundane. The scholars expected it to be written in a strange unknown language, but surprisingly, is written in our own. The Book of Choices, as it is called, exerts a strange fascination, and few can resist the urge to open it. But those who read it start talking incoherently or fall into a deep slumber from which they never wake. Some say the truths contained in the book are so disconcerting that readers lose their grip on reality. The unsettling tome is soon locked away in a secret hall of the Royal Library, where no one will open it, until we choose to, I'm sure. As it is named, aptly, I would imagine. Alright. 2 and 5, that is fantastic. Unfortunately, it's not something I can guarantee, because some of these might go up and then they turn to white. We don't have much wiggle room for white, though, so I need to pay attention to that. Alright. Let's continue with the march to Lorraine, because I saw we need more of this symbol to complete that track. And there aren't any more. Like, this is it. March to Lorraine. By the time the army reaches the monastery of Lorraine, Celestina has already escaped. I would imagine so. It's been how many different reigns? Only Larka, a self-proclaimed sister of the Unending, is there, with a message from the High Priestess. Celestina found a ritual that could make our ruler immortal, but she will need 8 young girls in a quiet place to study and practice. Didn't we just read something about how the Sun Cult did this and they were attacked by the Easterners for it? The Prior Mother is outraged and demands that we stop this aberration. We entrust 8 girls to Celestina for her experiment. No. No. Sending this down. I don't know how far that's going to go up. It needs to be... It's just one more white, though. That'd be fine-ish. I'm going to say no. Larka is arrested, and we instruct the army to locate and capture Celestina and all of the Sisters of the Unending, or heretical acolytes. But it will be no easy task, as they covered their tracks when they escaped Lorraine. Prior Mother applauds our decision, as the cult views immortality as a curse, which prevents one from going back to the mother's womb. After we refuse to hand over 8 girls to a certainly grim fate, Celestina seems intent to proceed with her plan on her own. The Sisters of the Unending, her heretical acolytes, begin causing havoc in the realm. Nobody knows where they're based, but we receive reports of their appearance in the strangest places, seeking to acquire medical instruments like saws and scalpels. When girls start disappearing around the kingdom, many immediately assume they're responsible. The army is hunting them down, and manage to arrest some. However, none of the captured Sisters of the Unending seem willing to reveal Celestina's plan. Okay. We're about to lose both those white crowns, so maybe we can send that back down. Perhaps we should continue with this. Okay. Let's continue with this. Maybe I can send that back down. I think I see where this is going. Citizens are starting to use onyx dust in orchestrated pyrotechnic celebrations, but the number of injuries and lethal incidents is high. Do we ban onyx dust for pyrotechnic recreational use? Yes, and that will send it down. We can otherwise continue with the story plotline, but we need to send this down. That will send this up. So we don't really do anything, but we also don't lose one of our crowns. Make our allies happier. What is the point of having these extra decision points if I'm not going to use them? While onyx dust is still being sold on the black market, its sensibly reduced diffusion greatly reduces the number of incidents. That's almost out of there too. Okay. And that seems to have ended that storyline. Let's see. That's going to send it up. Because I'm probably going to make a choice based upon knowledge, which will send that upward. We do not want that. So maybe let's go with the Academy of the Spirits. Isadora used complex ciphers to protect her discoveries, especially those about spirituality, but also when she was afraid of something. The Rector reports that Philona, a sister from the Order of Spiritual Enlightenment, is studying such a scroll, seemingly containing information about an impending menace. But her skills are not enough, and she's asking for assistance from the scholars of Libra. Do we order Goffid to keep working on Isidora's ciphers? Yes, that sends it down. No. Nothing happens. I'm also looking here at my people. That sends it down, but how far does it send it down? I want it to keep down. I mean, if nothing is going to happen by saying no, then, like, everything stays here. You know, like, the thing is, the further we send this down, to prevent it from going off, we have to send it back up. Sending it back up turns it to white. So, like, not moving at all is basically just a waste of a turn. But how does this continue the storyline? Alright, let's keep... I'm interested. I actually want to learn, and let's spend some of our points. We've apparently lost an alliance because I went from 13 to 12. Through an expensive yet impressive concerted research effort, Philona and the other scholars managed to crack Isidora's code. The scholars are initially disappointed to find out that the cipher seems to hide a mundane historical chronicle comparing the demise of the Sabaean League and the Salan Union, which we probably could have figured out from the lore anyway. Echoes of a recurrent past. Complete translation. I've found that some events repeat throughout history, not because of human nature, but due to the will of an external force called the Black Dawn. This name, and the symbol associated with it, recur many times in historical chronicles from different ages and geographical regions. Are these the guys that are going to be behind the uprising? Take the Sabaean League, for example. It faltered at the apex of its power after a sudden economic crisis. The League's power relied on its famous treasure, a large reserve of gold that allowed the Sabaeans to rule over other realms. Is that why I need the treasure vault? Okay, that's the other storyline there, eh? But it also sent this back down too. We were pretty close. Let's look at the mystery here. This one? Example. Over realms. They enslaved tribal populations of the desert and conquered other kingdoms by manipulating inflation, throwing them into poverty. Suddenly, though, an overabundance of gold ingots flooded the market, as if they were created out of thin air. These ingots were all marked with the symbol of a black dawn. Gold became cheaper even than iron, making the treasure of the Sabaean League worthless. The crisis culminated in the revolt of the slaves, guided by the Abeds, the only Sabaean family to stand on their side. After the fall of the Sabaean League, all that was left of this once mighty civilization was a small tribal society led by the descendants of the Abeds. Or look at this Salan Union, probably the most scientifically advanced civilization our world has ever seen. They ruled the seas through their mighty navy, but little to nothing of their greatness remained after their chain of command was broken by a series of sudden betrayals. The fratricidal battle that brought the Salans to their knees was fought during a full eclipse, an event that the betrayers obviously took advantage of. After the Union's demise, a single family remained to rule over its ruins. I do not have enough information to develop a full theory about the correlation between these events, but the commonalities are easy to see. The symbol of a black dawn, and an eclipse followed by the fall of a civilization, and a single family left to rule over the ruins after the apocalypse. Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's what it's about. If we complete our goals, we're the ones left in charge? Obviously it is coming. That is inevitable. The number, I think, of preparations will determine the outcome as well. And so I think we need to perhaps look, as they are rewards, during the final dilemma, maybe they are of benefit? So we'll get one here. Should we not? Should that not have already flipped over? I don't know. But as far as those go, if these ones are indeed the important ones, I'm not getting shit out of them. I'm gonna get one. I've completed one. I guess we're not done with the rain yet. That's probably why. Okay. Well, maybe we need to go continue the war. We're actually running out of some things here. Okay, well, I'll end this one here, and we'll continue on next time.